All right, y'all. I'm live. All right, I have a very important message. So I'm going to let a couple people join the live right now. Yours truly, Bianca Gracia, better known as Bianca for Texas on the social medias. I am the executive director of Latinos for America First, and I have a very important message. Yesterday, after our historic Latinos Against Kamala Harris on Thursday, our live that has gone viral with over 130,000 participants and over almost hitting 2 million across all platforms of how Latinos really feel against Kamala Harris. Yesterday, the organization LULAC issues an endorsement of Kamala Harris. Well, I want to set the record straight. Let me tell you, last year I joined LULAC as well as some of other conservatives. We joined LULAC. Why? Because we're not afraid to go into the lion's den. So we did, and this year, our president, our new president that was just sworn in, who is a Republican, we took over this chapter of LULAC, and we have a lot of conservatives. In fact, we have our state comptroller Glenn Hager coming to speak at our meeting on Tuesday. Interestingly enough, LULAC issues this endorsement of Kamala, and not one member, not one chapter received any process. There was no process followed. None of us were asked if we were okay with it, if we wanted to vote on it. There was nothing. So just like Kamala earned, or didn't earn, I'm sorry, she didn't earn, just like Kamala got this nomination, a selection, she was selected for this running for president now, with no votes. This is the exact same thing LULAC, the former president of the national organization of LULAC, issues an endorsement using the PAC that our president and our district director didn't even know that he had started or had. So that wasn't brought to our attention. So what we're going to do, what I'm going to do this Tuesday at our meeting here in Houston area, I'm going to put a motion on the floor that our LULAC chapter endorse President Trump. Because if this is the games we're going to play, and it's going to be, and I am pretty sure it was a pay to play, as they not only see that historically Latinos came in groves. I mean, we just multiplied. And as my friend Don Lucre says, we blew it out of the park, beating the engagement with the Blacks. We organized in 24 hours, and LULAC now roguely, without asking any members, goes and endorses Kamala and didn't even ask any of us if we were okay with it or a vote. Second, Fox News comes out. Oh, how convenient. Fox News comes out today that Kamala is leading with Latinos with 58% to 42%. I call it hogwash. This is what they are doing to the Latino and Hispanic voters across the United States. They think that they're ignoring us. Number one, no one has called me to say, wow, what a historic podcast you guys had with over 30,000 participants, and we couldn't even get everybody on. We went 2 hours. We were supposed to go 1.5 hours. We went 2 hours, and we couldn't get all of the voices across the United States that wanted to say why they were not voting for Kamala Harris. We couldn't even get them on because it was just too many. It was massive. It was a massive. So what does the media do? Ignore us. What does LULAC do? Doesn't even ask us how we feel, and they just go and endorse Kamala. So again, on Tuesday at our LULAC meeting, I'm going to put a motion in the floor and ask that LULAC, our chapter, endorses Donald Trump. How about that? How about those apples? Anyhow, so with that said, this polling comes out on from Fox News of all people that Kamala has a lead. I just don't buy it. They want to ignore us. They want to hide the fact that there is a plethora. I mean, we're coming now massively. I can't even tell you how many people have reached out that they want to get involved. They want to know what to do, how to go about it. So we at Latinos for America First are going to have a training this week, probably on Tuesday, because I think Elon Musk is, I wanted to do it on Monday, but on Tuesday, because Elon Musk and Trump will be on X live, and I don't want to, interfere with that at all. And so probably on Tuesday, we're going to host a training for all of you that have asked how to get involved. What can you do? We have training Latinos for America First. We were the original, and I am one of the co-founders of Latinos for Trump since 2016. So let me set the record straight. We are now Latinos for America First, and we have been pretty much, organizing and mobilizing across the United States since 2016. So here we go. Moving forward, we have pledged to put 100,000 boots on the ground in Arizona, Nevada, and across the rest of this battleground states here in the United States. Coming up here for this election, because we're going to make sure that we go to every Latino door and every Hispanic community that has not been approached, engaged with, and I know they haven't, because I was in Phoenix, in Southside Phoenix, and I went with my dear friend Jeff Zink. We went knocking on business owners. We went to the supermarket. We were stopping people on the street. And I can tell you, no one has reached out to these Hispanics. No one has told them what it is that they're voting for, not voting for. No one has had a conversation with them. So we are pledging to go to every single Hispanic door that we can possibly find to talk to them about why it's important to vote for Donald Trump and how we are rejecting Kamala Harris and her communist ways, as well as Waltz, who has stolen valor. He's a pedophile, has allowed pedophiles. I can go on and on. This is not the purpose of my live today. My purpose was to call out LULAC for the approach that they took and in fake endorsements, the pay-to-play endorsements that they did for Kamala Harris. So on behalf of our chapter at LULAC, I'm telling you right now, we were not asked to vote on it. Our president didn't know about it. The district director didn't know about it, that this was going to happen. So I know there's shenanigans within LULAC, and we're calling them out. And here you go. On Tuesday, I'm going to put a motion on the floor again to endorse President Trump on behalf of our chapter, because if this is the way they want to play, they're not going to ignore us. We are in the lion's den, and we are not afraid to fight the Democrats toe to toe in their own organization. One man does not represent all of LULAC. He just doesn't. He's a former president. He does not represent every single member in LULAC. We're not going to go down without a fight. And so this is either you don't endorse or we're going to endorse President Trump. But I'm going to tell you, we're going to endorse President Trump. I'm going to tell you, we're going to fight back. We are not going to take it down. We will not be continuously ignored by the mainstream media. I'm just not going to let that happen. And the rest of our conservative Hispanics are not going to let that happen. So I'm going to tell you, we're going to need all your help. We need as much support as we can. We need you to continue to push our pages out, continue to elevate and amplify our voices, because they're not going to ignore us. We're going to force the mainstream media to pay attention to us and to give us a seat at the table and stop ignoring us like if we don't exist. Listen, CNN, back in 2018, 2019, when you called me and you said, do you have some Latinos for Trump in the Rio Grande Valley, where we were mobilizing and organizing? The Rio Grande Valley wouldn't even be red right now, or turning red, with 5 new Republican mayors. If we hadn't even started to plant the seeds, our Latinos for Trump went down there where the Republican Party told us not to go down and engage with them. And look at what has happened now. CNN calls and says, and then they go and they interview 2 of my directors down in the Rio Grande Valley, and they ask him about the border wall, and CNN acts like they found Latinos for Trump, like they found us, like we didn't exist, like we're the M&Ms, like, we found Latinos for Trump. We accidentally found Latinos for Trump. You didn't find us. We were there. We've been there since 2016. And what was our message to CNN that it went viral, and even Rush Limbaugh at the time and Glenn Beck, everybody picked it up because our Latinos for Trump sat there at the border wall and said, we want it longer and taller. That's what we were known to say back then. So CNN, you're not going to ignore Fox News. None of you are going to sit there and ignore us. And you can ignore us. You can ignore us all you want. But let me tell you, what we're going to do is what we did in 2016. We're going to definitely come out in such large numbers. It's going to be too big to rig. You will not silence us. You're not going to make us go away. We will not bow down. We're not going to bend a knee to communism. You see what's happening in Venezuela. We're not going to allow it here in this country. So I'm going to tell you right now, between the brothers and sisters I have, and the Venezuelans, the Nicaraguans, the Cubans, we are going to band together, and we're going to mobilize and organize like we have never mobilized and organized before. So we need all your help. LatinosForAmericaFirst.org. You go on there, you join us, because we're going to be sending out messages and emails. We need to make sure that all of and everybody that we can possibly train, we train. We tell you what exactly we need you to go do, how you're going to help us make phone calls, how you're going to help us identify leaders in the community, because I've identified, I've been doing that. Thank God for the America Project, who I was their strategic leader at the America Project, their chief strategist, I should say, that they put me over 9 states. So I've already been to all the battleground states, identifying the leaders. I know who they are. But if there's others, because believe me, there are others, I need to know who they are, because we need to make sure that they're equipped with appropriate resources, that they have all the tools that they need to make sure that we are successful on the ground, and that they are successful so that we win in November. So let me tell you something. Axios knows. Newsweek put out an article. Oh, the Latino vote, they're the ones that are going to be the deciding factor. That's right. It's not the blacks. It's not the Asians. It's not even the Caucasians. It is going to be the silent majority minority, Latinos, Hispanics, Cubans, Nicaraguans. I don't care wherever you're from, El Salvador, wherever you're from. Let me tell you something. Those people escape communism. They don't want communism in this country. We reject Kamala Harris. Let me say that crystal clear. We reject Kamala Harris. Okay? You fake black Indian, whatever I'm pretty sure. Listen, now you're stealing Trump's policies. Oh, no tax on tips. You had 4 years to do all that you could, and you did nothing. You broke. What is it? We're going to build back better. No, you broke back. That's what you did. It's like my friend said, with Trump, we were balling, and with Kamala, we're falling. Record inflation. My grocery bill is $400 a week, opposed to when Trump was in office, I could buy a basket full of groceries for $180. Now it's like $400. I walk out of the grocery store. Are you freaking kidding me? This is ridiculous. I'm telling you right now, I'm telling the mainstream media, you can ignore us all you want, but we're going to mobilize and organize like no other. And I am advising you that I am definitely recruiting other leaders. I am definitely locking arms with other organizations. And it doesn't matter if they're Latino or not. I'm going to lock arms with those organizations, and we're going to go out, and we will be training people, and we are going to be successful, and we will deliver the win for President Donald J. Trump. And if they can, because if the RNC can't do it, if the GOP can't do it, if Trump teams can't do it, you know what? We're just going to roll up our sleeves, and we're going to get the job done ourselves, because that's what Hispanics do. We have built this country. We have built city to city. We are not for the open border. We are not for communist and Marxism. So we're going to fight back, just like we did at the Alamo. Let me tell you something. People don't talk about that. They don't talk about that next to Davy Crockett, that there was Mexican Americans fighting at the Battle of the Alamo, defending the freedom and liberty that we were given in this country by our founding fathers. Never forget, this is a Judeo-Christian country. Never forget. Never forget that. We have a constitution that was given to us with freedom and liberty, and you don't get to just rip it apart, shred it apart. You're not going to take our guns away. You're not going to indoctrinate our children. You're not going to cut off and mutilate them in different parts and tell them today they can be a freaking unicorn, and tomorrow they can be a cat, and all this stupid agenda and your Common Core, your education stinks. It stinks. You're not educating anybody. You're not educating anybody. The Department of Education should be just demolished. It's ridiculous. You guys have gone too far. We've had enough. It's like my friend Ron Flores in California say, ya basta. Ya basta. Like Malay says, he says, pa fuera. That's what we're going to do with you, Kamala. We're going to ventarte para fuera. We're going to say pa fuera. You, the Department of Education, all your communist policies, your Marxist policies. We got a resident that's out on the beach right now while there's war, people breaking out over there. We're sending our money to Ukraine. You've destroyed the country. You've destroyed it. You destroyed it completely. You're destroying the country. I just came off a whole national tour of the U.S. with General Michael Flynn for his Flynn movie. The infrastructure in the United States sucks. The roads are crappy. It's just ridiculous. We're becoming the third world country is what we're becoming. And this country is so beautiful and so rich, but we're becoming a third world country. If you've driven across the United States on freeways and roads, and I'm telling you, I mean, you can have like flat, you can get your blown out tires because of how crappy the infrastructure is here in the United States, because the government has gone too far. They've spent our dollars on illegals. They've spent our dollars sending them to Ukraine. Ya basta. No more. Pa fuera with you, Kamala, and your resident Biden over there sleeping in the freaking beach. Give me a freaking break. Get to work. We have President Trump who works day and night, wakes up at probably 4 or 5 in the morning and works till probably midnight. And here you got a president who's over there, a resident who's over there at the beach. And the other one, she's over there paying women to come to her rally. This is ridiculous. Women, I'm calling upon the women. This is going to be your year. This is the year of the Deborahs, the Esthers. I need them all of you. I need the women to rise up, because it's our families that's on the line. It's our households. It's our children. It's our grandchildren. It's our husbands. Listen, let me not forget, Latinos, law enforcement. We are high in numbers in law enforcement. 80% of our border patrol is Hispanic. Our military is edging at probably 35 to 40% in the military. You know how many Hispanics join the Marines? First line of defense. Somos peleoneros. We're not backing down. We are not going to give up. And I'm telling you right now, LULAC, you have some answering to do. You don't go run around and make your stupid endorsement of Kamala and didn't even ask your membership. You all have a selection process. You don't even follow the rules. You are lawless. You have disorder in this country. You're a disgrace. You're a disgrace. My abuelita's probably turning in her grave because of the disgrace you have done to this country. She didn't fight for this country. My mother didn't get up every day and go to work so that y'all could destroy the very fabric of what we have built. This is ridiculous. We are done. We are done with you. LULAC, you have some answering to do. And let me tell you something. I'm telling you right now, I'm going to make a motion on Tuesday that we are going to endorse Trump. How about that, LULAC? How about that? Chapter to chapter. We're going to keep taking it away from you because you don't speak for all of us. You can't sit there and do that. We joined because, you want to say you represent Hispanics. I'm like, all right, I'm about that. I'm about, being part of a Hispanic organization. That's right, because we want to make sure that, we have rights and we keep those rights. But let me tell you something. You've gone too far. I'm telling you, that's why I joined LULAC, because I wasn't afraid to go into the lion's den. And that's why now we took over that chapter, where we have gotten Republicans in that chapter. And we even got some really good conservative Democrats that don't believe in abortion. They don't believe in all this craziness, and that's okay. Because you know what? They're upset. They're upset because even they were not, no one was asked. It doesn't matter if you were Democrat or Republican. None of us were asked. It's ridiculous. So you have some answering to do, and that's what's going to happen. That's my important message to you, LULAC. We're not going to sit down and we're not going to take it anymore. To none of you out there in this country. So to all my brothers and sisters out there that want to make a difference, join us at LatinosForAmericaFirst.org. Follow me on Bianca for Texas. Follow our pages and make sure you share them to amplify our voice because we are not going to go away. Don Blucher and I are working on a 2.0, and we're going to work on something better, bigger and better, and we're going to keep getting bigger and better because we're not going to back down. We are not going to back down. And if there's any Asians and Jews out there, oh, by the way, see, I have Jewish in me too. So you know what? There we go. Jewish, Italians, whatever. This is America. At the end of the day, we're Americans. And for those of you saying, oh, you're going to whatever about your other country. I was born here. So do not get that mistaken. 3-4 generations in, I was born here. So don't be telling me I migrated from somebody else, from somewhere else. I didn't. My bisabuelita probably did, but no, I didn't. I was born here. My children were born here. My mother was born here. And my grandmother was born here. It was my vice grandmother who was not. So get it straight. Know your facts before you try to come and attack me. You better know your facts. So anyway, guys, thanks for tuning in. I was just about had it. I had something to say. I wanted to get it off my mind. Have a wonderful Saturday. Again, Bianca for Texas on any of the social medias. Go and join us at latinosforamericafirst.org and become part of our movement porque somos el movimiento de la gente. That is what we're going to do. We're American tough and we're not going to back down. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for tuning in this Saturday night. Peace out. We'll see you on the ground and we're going to see a victory in November. President Trump, this is a message for you. Don't worry. We got your back. We got your back. There's people in your campaign, maybe they don't have your back. You need to have 1,000 Dan Scavinos is what you need to have. But let me tell you something. We got your back. You don't need to worry because we are going to step up. We're going to step up and we're going to stand out and we're going to roll up our sleeves and we're going to go do what others can't do. And we're going to get it done. And we're going to make sure that you are in the White House, back in the White House in November. Just mark my words right there. So thank you so much again. Peace out.